Yes. Yes. Look at it. The Amevians at work. Quickly creating a new army. Stronger and better than before. Hundreds of men. Hundreds of Amevians, I should say. Training as hard as their little Amevian booties can. And here, I'm going to authorize 27 more. Because we need a lot more Amevians. We only have 1,440. Ideally, we want like 3,000. 4,000. We've got all of these little guys going, but they're not making enough. We only got 3 or 4 children per area. And I feel like a lot of these fish are going to waste. We got so many potential babies that could be being made, but they're not because we just don't have enough population for it. So I'm going to have to keep immigrating people. We're going to have to keep expanding outward. Our technology, our knowledge, everything. We have to keep growing our regions. We've got a new region here. Which is it? Lizardster. It's level 2 town hall. It's about to be level 3 pretty soon. I think it actually will have a chance to hit. Definitely palace for sure, because it's not even at the city planning phase here. And it is about to explode. And we've got our troops moving over here to Lizardo to help out. So in this episode, this should be episode 9, I have a lot to do. I'm going to focus very hard on trying to get a nice army going, maybe conquer a few more areas, and also potentially watch out later because I may have another series on the way. This might be a double Songs of Syx week where I put out 2 different series, and I probably will. I always say might because sometimes I fall asleep and I don't actually do it, but I'd really like to start my human series today and kind of end this series with the start of that series at the same time. Normally I don't run 2 series at the same time, but I'm going to do it for this one. I'm also going to put these in here because why not? We're baller status now. We are at that point where our city is not really under threat from anybody, although if they did come with a big army, we would probably get beaten up. But if it really came down to it and I had to fall on my sword, I would. It's alright. Sometimes you have to lose, and it's been a long time. If you go back to the beginning of my channel, I lost once. Only one time in Songs of Syx have I lost. Every other time, I've done significantly better and better each time. And I think the same can be kind of said for this series as well, because I do like this city. Although I did have some grand aspirations from the start, I think I did achieve kind of what I wanted to. We have a nice city going with quite a bit of soldiers training constantly, and I also forgot to mention I need to build housing over here. That's something I want to do, is build a bunch of housing. We have how much space for trainees? 240. I may allow for more space. I think I will double this up here. So there's 3 rows of training spots. Although actually, why don't I allow these buildings here? I'm gonna get to it, and I'll see you guys in a moment. Hopefully some battles occur, hopefully some good stuff. I need to get into some conflicts. I've got too many guys, and they need to get into some real battles. They're getting tired of all this boring crap. Alright, I'm back. And I've learned some things. I've learned how to exploit this system. Fortunately, there were no battles to be had, but I did exploit my neighbor. And let's get into that. We have basically the same on the home front. I think I have 300 more Amevians. I get a few more if I'd like. I'm at 1,800 now. We get a good amount of supplies in pretty much every department. Our army is 750 guys, and we have 100 guys training here, another 100 training here, and another 100 training here in archery. So we're gonna try to have 2 groups of archers like that, 2 groups of archers like this, a couple good groups and a couple mediocre groups, so that we have a wide variety. Now let's look at the world map. We have our classic regions we had from the start. We're almost to the town or palace for this building here. Only issue I'm running into is happiness or loyalty overall. As you can notice, we don't have our groups or our troops anymore. Problem with those guys was that they were basically taking up too much in the way of leather armor, and I couldn't afford them, so I had to disband them. But I did use them wisely. I'm gonna actually do this. I'm gonna make a group. I'm gonna train them up to a decent amount. I'll make them like that. I'm gonna send them over there and stand them on that. What I did with my troops before I disbanded them was I sent them as far as possible over here to Lizard Land. This was an open rebel region. I figured why not go for it. I captured it, and now I'm working on getting his loyalty up there. Now that it's decent, as you can see, if I take that away, it'll drop, but that's okay. It'll get back to where it needs to be. I'm gonna set them sending coal. You can see they're gonna send me 582 coal a day. This is per day. I figured it out. Then I looked at my boy Konings here. He has a decent army. I saw his army. He has 4,000 guys in the army, and they're pretty well trained. You can see we have 16 emissaries on him trying to assassinate him, but he also has a very large green bar for some reason, and 850% opinion of me, way higher than even our own neighbor Korkensky here. Why? Why is that? Because if you look, we have a peace treaty, and that's where I figured out the break in the game. This peace treaty offered me way more opinion overall than anything else. So I took some of his regions, and because I accepted his peace treaty, he really liked me. What I basically did was this. I manipulated the fact that this guy will send his troops back home to defend. After I captured this, I turned it into a rebel state, and this was a place with no walls. I went and captured a place with no walls, because it would have took me a little longer to siege them. I'll likely try to siege one of these other places, but because of the walls, it's really annoying. So, for example, someone like this. Anyone who has no walls is an open target. I'll capture them, turn them to a rebel state, then capture the rebel state. Wait for them to give me a decent peace treaty. Don't accept a bad peace treaty. He only wanted 1,000 drinks, 500 stone, and 200 cut stone. The 1,000 drinks kind of hurts, but if you think about it, I'm self-sufficient now, so I don't really care. Then we also had another peace treaty 4 days prior where he asked for 322 fish and all of our gems. That was cheap. That's very cheap. So he really didn't have any problem. Ideally, if he had any other regions that had no defense like this one here, I could send a troop, capture it, and then wait for him to do the peace treaty thing again, and we'll be all set. Did that to this region as well. You can see we have law in here. We could do that as well. Kind of speed up the process, make them like us more faster. And I honestly, I think that's a good one for this run, because I was getting a little weary of how hard it would be to capture regions. But now that I know a little bit of a strat, that peace treaties make them like you more than anything. So for example, Korkensky is actually someone we should be a little worried about. Although if he did send his army at us, I know for a fact that our 750 guys will beat the shit out of him. There's no doubt in my mind. And we're self-sufficient, so we don't really need him for anything. We're about to have iron being sent from, if I look over here, Lizardberg here. He has iron ore, and the other one has coal. So they're both going to be sending that daily. I could also, I actually can't because there's not enough workforce, but eventually, oh, this one here too. So this one will be sending ore, and the other one will be sending ore. We'll have smelters in town smelting away. And it'll be great. It'll be great. I don't think, though, as I've been thinking about it, I don't think that this will be the end of the series. I don't think that number 10, episode 10, will be the end of this series, because we aren't there yet. We still have a lot more to do. But I do plan to do the human series, if not today, tomorrow at some point, or when I have time. I'm going to take a little bit of a nap here and then come back refreshed and rejuvenated for the human series. I've been looking forward to it so very much. I want to do both because the humans are vastly different than Amevians, and they have such a unique playstyle, and they're definitely my favorite race. Amevians are my second favorite, humans are my top favorite. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. And be sure to subscribe. We're almost to 1,000. And I look forward to reaching that before my birthday in 9 days. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Say goodbye to Ferdinandola. Fernandola. You stinky Draconian.